friends, how are you? I'm Michelle and this is my channel, Penny's Daughter Shares. Are you ready for some cross-stitch talk? I know I am. I have lots and lots to share. I am going to start today. First thing I want to say is I hope that it's not terribly annoying, but I have my fan on today. And I tried to do a couple test videos and listen for myself with it on and with it off, and I don't think it's too annoying. I just hope that that's the way it ends up coming across, because I was roasting hot without it on. So that's first. Second, I want to show you my awesome shirt. Look at this. Isn't it cute? Look at Witchcrafts. I love it so much. So I wanted to share that today because I'm going to talk, yes, all of my projects that I'm going to share today are fall and or Halloween themed. So that's something I wanted you to see. And let's see. Okay, so let's get on with the video. Am I Dracula here? Okay. I want to first say thank you so much for everyone for all your kind comments and messages and views on my most recent video that had been a long time coming. I appreciate it so much, and I've had so much fun sort of catching back up with some of you that we'd often talked a lot, and even those of you that were new and sent me comments. Love it so much. So if you're new, and you like what you see, make sure and like and comment, leave me a comment, please. I love comments. And also subscribe if you enjoy my video. I want to start, well, I don't know, I already started. Where I'm going to start with my talking today is sort of life update, but not really. You'll understand what I mean when I explain it. So, for those of you that have been here, you know that I have 3 kids, and Vivian, our youngest, is in 7th grade. And for her, I want to say it's called World History class. It's her history class this year. They were assigned a project where they needed it. I think they even called it the Family History Project. And essentially, they would choose an ancestor to do their project on and relate that ancestor to a historical event. And I think ideally, they were supposed to talk to and interview that person. Vivian doesn't have that opportunity at our house. So after some talking about it, we decided that she would do her project on my mom, or as Vivian called her Grandma Penny. That was so cool, you guys, because she's always my mom. She's never described as grandma because no one's ever known her. So anyway, the project was very emotional at times as we talked about things. And if you're curious, our historical event, we actually talked about several, but in general terms, I'll talk that it had to do with women's rights. And I'm not sure if many of you know this, my mom got married very young. Wow, words are hard. Married very young. And long story short, it was a way to get out of her house, and she didn't have the greatest childhood. We'll just keep it sort of simple. She got married in 72. I was born in 73. Anyone very familiar with any kind of historical events around that time, you're familiar with Roe versus Wade. And also, and I meant to write down the name of this act and I forgot, but it was from October of 1974, and it was something like the Equal Opportunity Credit Act, I want to say. And what that did was, for women specifically, it was spread over more general population than just specifically women. But what it allowed was a woman could get a credit card in her name without being married, and also have access to getting a mortgage to get a house on her own without being married. Now, this was October 1974. My mom had gotten married in 1972. So that was very fun to put all that together, because the other part, that how we organized the project and how I helped Vivian talk about my mom and get to know her, we both got even more inspiration from my mom than I'd ever realized that I had. I hope I'm saying that in a good way. My mom always was very inspirational to me, and I get to share a little more specifically of that. But putting this together and really laying out these historical events alongside my mom's life really made me realize just how inspirational she was and what she did for me that I didn't even realize was happening. So it was really awesome. And the whole point of me giving you all that story of, background story of this whole project, and looking through pictures and looking through sort of memorabilia, that's what I want to share with you specifically. So I found a letter that my mom had written me my first year of college, and I had a really hard time in the beginning with college. I was lonely and homesick, and it was really hard for me. And I was going through a period of time when it was really especially difficult. And she wrote me this letter, and I've known this letter, I've obviously had it since 1992 when it was written. And I've read it and reread it multiple times in these past, 30 years, more than. But I didn't remember specific sentences that were in there. So the first one I'm going to show you, and I edited it with some photos and some blocking out so that Vivian could share it in her project. So I'm going to put that here, and I hope you can read it because it was in my mom's handwriting, and I'm not sure exactly how the pictures will turn out on the video. But I'll read the sentence part. But as you can see, I have the date there, the Dear Michelle. And I just want to point out, she signed it, "Love you, Mom." And that's exactly what I always say to my kids. Well, and my husband too, but even to my kids. I always say, "Love you." Like, not "I love you," it's "love you." So first I thought that was cool. Then the sentence in between there, it says, well, I'll read that in a second. I also want to add, the way, before I found this letter, I always have this memory in my mind, and I know she said it to me at least once. I can really almost hear her saying it to me. She probably said it to me more than once, was, "Michelle, you need to get a good education. You need to be able to take care of yourself. I don't want you to ever have to depend on anyone else financially." So that was a really big, important thing for my mom, because she got married so young and didn't have her own chance to do that for herself. So this sentence here, or couple of sentences says, "You must be strong and get yourself a good education. That's one of the mistakes I made for myself. Be tough." You guys, when I found this and I read it, I cried and cried, like ugly cry. Fortunately, I was the only one home at the time. But I was so excited to find that for Vivian to be able to include that with her project. But not only that, now Vivian gets my mom's words directly. Like she can actually see them for herself, even though she would never have been able to hear them from her. So that was my 7th grade historical or history class family history project synopsis for you. And I wanted to share one more couple of sentences out of the letter too, because like I said, I've read this letter many times, but for whatever reason, this actually jumped out at me in the letter. And so I also edited this one out. So I'll put that up here. Again, I have the beginning and the ending of the letter because that's how I wanted to keep it for myself as a record to look at anytime I want. But so I'll read that part to you too in case you can't actually read it. It says, "There is someone out there for you. He will make you feel so special. Just wait and see." This was written in 1992. And for anyone that's been around my channel for any length of time, you know how awesome my husband is. And I'm pretty sure I've shared that my mom picked him for me. And I've always known that. There's never been a doubt, but I never had this letter. Like, I didn't have that line from that letter. So as I read that line from the letter too, oh my gosh. I mean, this was 6 years before I met Jeff that she wrote this down. She didn't know him either at that time. Well, she never got to meet him, but she did put us together. I mean, not that I needed more proof, but this really proved it to me. So, it was just such a great, awesome, just wonderful thing to experience. And to add one more little piece, one of the days that we had been working hard on Vivian's project for school, or like after school days, and the next day she had, so let's say that was a Tuesday evening or whatever. Wednesday she went to school, and when she left school to get on the bus to come home on Wednesday, she found a penny. Yep, laying there for, gee, do you think my mom left it for? I mean, Grandma Penny's pretty good. So that was, Vivian was really excited to bring it home and like, Mom, look. So cool. So I just wanted to share that because it was just something that I'm going to be able to just continue to grab back onto whenever I need a little something. I don't know, just a reminder. So like I said, that project really just brought so many really strong, good, tough feelings out from my mom that maybe had been laying pretty quiet lately. So, all right, so enough about that. That's kind of the life update, if you will. I wanted to show one other thing that I found when we were looking through things. So here it is. And it's a bookmark. If you can't, I don't know, maybe you aren't familiar with that or whatever. I know my mom bought this, this bookmark is pre-made, right? And then I stitched it. And I don't know if you can see there, it says, "I love you, Grandma." And then Yes, before I was married, my initials were MMM. And the year I stitched it, 1994. So I stitched this for my grandma, who was my mom, my dad's mom. And she read a lot. And so I made this for her. Now, from what my uncle tells me, who lived with her until she passed, my grandma never actually used this bookmark. It was too special and she didn't want anything to happen to it. And he found it in a drawer, packed away in a secure place after she passed, and he gave it back to me. So I remembered that I had this, but I didn't know exactly where it was. I mean, I have kind of memory things tucked in a few different places. So I don't know, I just thought it would be fun to share. So I did actually cross stitch way back when. So that was fun to find as part of this whole process. All right. Are you seriously, you got to be ready for stitching talk now, okay? Right? Let's see. I'm going to be talking all fall and Halloween today. That's what I've been working on. I have a few finishes. I'm going to show some WIPs. I'm going to have, for sure, I'm going to have a WIP parade here of all of anything I've started that are fall and Halloween. As I see how long it goes, because you know I can talk. If it's not too long, then I think I'll pull out a few kits that I have tucked away that I don't know if I'll start any other new things this year. I'm not sure. So anyway, we'll see if there's time for the kit stuff. If not, I have plenty of WIPs to share, I promise. So let's start with the finishes I have since I saw you last. And this first one, I know I showed you as a work in progress, a WIP that is Golden Delicious from the Artsy Housewife. And so that's the chart picture. Whoops, sorry for the glare. Now that's the other thing that's unusual. I'm filming later, much later in the day than I normally would. And the way my craft room is set up, like my front door, which has those skinny little windows on either side of it, is like right there in front of me. And the sun is way over here, but it's reflecting off there. And if you're getting glare on my glasses or anything else, that's why. It's just different than what I'm usually doing. So, all right, so that is the cover picture. Oh, and I will tell you that even though these things are finished, nothing is ironed because I've been so into like all the stitching. I haven't put my initials and the date on these yet. So I'm not gonna iron them until I finish that part. And I'm just gonna have to make myself sit down one morning and do that and get them caught up. So here is my awesome finish. Now, if you remember from me showing this to you last time, and I told you how intense that border was, and I still stand by that. It's a very intense border. Totally worth it when I got done. It's beautiful. But to stitch all this inside, so much faster and easier. And I just saw all that glare in my glasses. I'm gonna try to turn my head a little bit so it's not annoying. Okay, so what I stitched this on, it is 40 count, I know that. So that means 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. And it is on, and it's xjudesign, and the color is dark khaki. And I really love this fabric, really a lot. So definitely will stitch something else on it someday. And I used all the called for colors except For the black that you see, I used DMC 310. The called for, which I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a little too blue, especially once stitched on this fabric. It was too blue for me, and I wanted black with the rest of the colors. So yeah, so that is finish on that. This will probably get framed eventually. I am still in that I just want to sit and stitch phase and not really interested in the FFO stuff right now. In fact, I think I had someone ask me that, right? And was it you, Michelle? I think it was Michelle that asked me if I thought I would get to any FFOs this year, if I might wait until next year and do another big challenge, which you could still use the FFO challenge 2024. Lots of people are. But actually that is something I've considered, is maybe I'll just let myself stitch away this year and just go and make big plans for lots of FFOs in 2025. I don't know. I'm just not putting pressure on myself about it. Life is crazy enough right now. This new business stuff is not for the faint of heart. So, and as good as it's going, it's still stressful, especially for someone like me that worries and just has a natural, what's a good word, propensity for anxiety. Yeah, okay. So that's Golden Delicious from the Artsy Housewife. Super fun and really loved it. All right, let's see if I can take that off there easily with the clips. I could. Amazing. Next up, and I'm going to clip this on because I think it'll be a little easier. Oh, and I see I told you I didn't iron anything because I don't have initials on it yet. And it looks like this one, I was just too lazy to iron because initials are on it. So I don't have a good excuse other than I'd rather spend my time stitching than ironing. So let's start with the cover picture. Here's the chart, Witch's Night Out with Thy Needle and Thread, which is Brenda Gervais. So really cute. Cute little chart. And here is my finish. And like I said, there's my initials and the date. So I know I stitched this on 40 count also. Again, that's one floss thread over 2 linen threads for me. And this is stitched on, like I said, 40 count Steinbeck from Needle and Flax. So now we've seen Jucus's fabric from xjudesign, and now we're seeing Rachel's fabric from Needle and Flax. Those are my two favorites. And if that covered everything, and if I had enough linen in my linen library, which thank you, Jackie, for thinking that was such a cool phrase. I don't think I mentioned in the last video that it was actually my husband that came up with that term, the linen library. And so when I told him that Jackie had said how awesome that was, he asked me, well, did you tell him that it was mine? No, I didn't tell you it was your idea. So now I'm telling you. I still love the idea and I'm going to use it. Anyway, so those are my favorite linens. And this one I was just checking my notes. I used pretty much the called for flosses. I think 1 or 2 small subs, and I think it was just mostly because you know, this is an older chart, so the die lots just don't match quite the same as what it was charted in. So I just subbed out a couple things. So yeah, I think that's really cute. And again, FFO wise, I'm not sure. Pillow maybe, or maybe I'll mount it on something, or maybe I'll find a little frame. I have no idea. I just thought it was cute and I wanted to stitch it. And last year when I was doing all the starts for celebrating my 50th birthday, this was one of them that I started. So, yeah, so that's that cutie pie one. So that was fun and fairly quick to finish, because when I pulled it out, I had it not half done, but I'm trying to remember. I think I had the witch done. And maybe like just a little bit of the vines that were in her dress. But otherwise, so I mean, I had a fair amount of it done when I pulled it out. So it was a fun one to finish because it was pretty quick. Okay, and then I have one more finish. Some of these smaller projects, I mean, especially after Golden Delicious took me quite a while, and I didn't originally think it was going to take quite so long. I wanted to pick up some things, but then that were quick and get them finished. You know, just to have finishes, because that motivates me. I don't know about you. Some ways I'm a process stitcher, but I'm also a progress stitcher just because of the nature of my personality. Like, I need to finish, I need to complete, I need, no, it's not that I need to finish and complete. I need to feel accomplished. And that's how I measure my accomplishment, is if something gets done. Does that make sense? Okay, third finish. Grimm's Haunt from Plum Street Samplers. And I fell in love with this when it was part of the Kitten Stitcher Halloween box. And when was that? We're in 2024. I got this last year, which is 2023. So I think 2022 is when that box came out. Anyway, it came out and I was like, oh my gosh. And I could hardly wait for this to be released in general so that I could stitch it. I love the barn so much. And then the black kitty on there. If you've been around at all, you know I love black kitties. So here is my finish. Again, not ironed, and truly no initials on this one. It is stitched on 40 count Hemingway from Needle and Flax. That means 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. And I was just double checking. I used all the called for flosses. Just a second, I was remembering something different though. Okay, yep. All right, except the white. Paulette called for DMC B5200, which, you know, is the really bright white. And when I picked out this, you know, fairly dark fabric, and with all the other colors, I thought that would be a little too shocking. It probably would have been fine now that it's done. I just substituted in DMC, and I'll butcher this, Blanc. I don't speak French. So yeah, so that way it just, you know, it was just a little shade, not quite so bright. So otherwise everything is called for colors. Love, love, love the ombre barn. Love it so much. Oh my gosh, and it was so fun to stitch. This whole thing was really fun to stitch. Even all the little vines and all the doodads, everything. Normally I don't care for that stuff, but this one, I could pretty much get the vines stitched in there and count and get all the framework and all the vines in there. So then you could go back and fill in. So you could almost do like color completion on a lot of it. And I enjoy that more. So yeah, so that's Grimm's Haunt from Plum Street Samplers. And FFO on this one, I'm not sure. I lean towards a frame, and I feel like I say that a lot. Either a frame or like a, you know, a mounted frame-esque finish. But I don't know, I just feel like that's what this one needs. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, before we launch into all of my fall and Halloween WIPs, I am going to show you a little bit of purchasing that I've done recently. And the first thing I'm going to show you, no, we'll do that last. Yes, because it'll make more sense organizational wise. Okay. First thing is my friend Melanie ventured into designing, so I ordered up her The Perfect Pumpkin, and it's available in her Etsy shop. Melly is sorry, Melanie. Melanie is Melly Ellie Stitches on Flosstube and on Instagram. I will have her tagged in my drop-down box below. I will also try to remember to link her Etsy shop down below. Oh, and it says right here on her chart book, good. Her Etsy shop is called The Cozy Cottontail. So if you think this is super cute like I did, make sure and go get yourself one. She also has the PDFs available if you would prefer it in that format. So that I purchased as soon as she showed it, and I went to her shop and ordered it up. The next thing I bought, and I don't remember where I saw this, but I kept the package, and because I found it on Amazon. So here's the picture, or I'm sorry, the package. So Knitter's Pride is the brand, and I like a magnet board and the strip magnets to kind of keep track of where I'm at in a chart. And when I saw this, it seemed softer. You know, sometimes those edges on the magnet board are kind of sharp. So I thought, well, this will be worth trying, because it was, I don't know, $20 or so. This one I bought, it says it's size large. I think they had some smaller ones, but apparently, as you can see, knitting pattern holder. It's for knitting patterns. And I know I'm probably gonna cry if I unsnap this, because it's really hard to get it snapped into this easel form. But here's the magnet side. If I unsnapped it, can you see? Like, this is the outside, so it folds up like a folder, and you could snap it closed. So I think in theory you could have your pattern lined up on here and have it marked and it would stay. I don't know that I will ever use it that way. I just like having it like this, like an easel, you know, and I have it kind of sitting up by my stitchy spot, and I can mark where I'm at on my pattern and move it around as I change rows. Anyway, like I said, I just got it on Amazon, and I have really been enjoying using it, so I thought I would share it. And then I'm not gonna get the name right. I'll try to come close. So GaRon Stitchery, they had 2 separate weekends of retreat in Stitching in the Wild. That's the name of the retreat. And I didn't get to go to the retreats, but I either saw it shared on Instagram or I was watching one of their floss tubes, and they were talking about all of the design exclusives they had gotten from different designers for their retreat, and that they were available on their website. So I found one in particular. I was like, I have to go buy that, and I'll show that to you in a minute. While I was there, you can't buy just one chart and it be shipped by itself. It would get lonely, right? So I ended up finding a second exclusive that I hadn't seen before, that I fell in love with, that I started already. So I'll show that here in a second. And then I have been looking at this chart. This is not one of their exclusives, from Leela's Studio, Nevermore. I've been looking at this for a really long time and just hadn't bought it yet, and saw it was available on their site and said, okay, perfect. Then I have 3 charts traveling together and they're not lonely. What I love about this, first of all, love the bird, love the quote, and I really love the design stitching that's in there. Oh, can't wait to do it. I gotta get it kitted up so I can stitch it, but haven't gotten there yet. All right. Now, the reason I went to GaRon to order an exclusive is this. So this is from Fox and Rabbit, and it's called, what's it called? Witch's Hearth. Oh, here, I'll back it up. Now, I have no idea if they still have them on their website, or will they have an unlimited supply in theory if they're selling them? I'm not sure. And I'm not sure, does it mean that Fox and Rabbit's going to release this in general to every LNS in a year? I'm not sure. I don't know any of those answers. I just know where I got it, and if you really like it, go get yourself one if you can. So Fox and Rabbit, Witch's Hearth. I didn't kit this one up yet. I don't know, because I had other WIPs. Even though I love it so much, I have other WIPs. And maybe the number of flosses it took or something. I don't know. Whatever. It's a little bigger than the one I started. So I'll start by showing you this awesome project bag that my friend Katie made me. Was it this summer, Katie, that you sent this to me? This one and one more, a Michigan State project bag. So when I show you this chart, it fits perfectly in this bag. Oh, love it. So I will make sure, Katie is greencottagequilts on Instagram and her Etsy shop. I can't remember. Do you have project bags in your Etsy shop right now, Katie? I don't remember. But go check it out, and if she doesn't, then send her a message and you could always ask. Okie dokie. Chart picture, that would be good here. Here it is. Isn't it cool? Ah! I love it. So it's Ghost Pumpkin from Lottie Da. Isn't it so cute? Now pretty much all the colors, I did my own conversion, although I say my own conversion, I just chose similar to what is on the chart. Let's see. It's probably easiest if I can get this clipped on here. Again, remember, I didn't iron anything. There is my start, and I'm gonna bring it in really close so you can see it, and then I'll pull it back out. Because I think it's kind of hard to see what I have done from a distance just because I have this wild fabric, which I love. And you can see, like, I started the pumpkin or the chart from the center of the chart, but I wanted to place it very specifically on this fabric. So when I do finish it, even if it's a pillow or something, I'm gonna make sure I have quite a fair margin of fabric showing because it's just so beautiful. I want it included. So that is my start. Now it's charted all in DMC. So like I said, I used my own color conversion, and honestly, I just pulled a whole bunch of different brands of overdyed. So it's what I had that sort of matched up the colors that the DMC called for. So I'm stitching this on 40 count Halloween pumpkin from xjudesign. So I'm stitching it 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. And I love this, love stitching on it. And you're kind of going, well, then why isn't it done? Like, why'd you put it down? Well, why do we put anything down? Because we want to pick something else up, right? Honestly, this is a lot of, let me show you the chart picture one more time. You can see how much blocks of color there are in the stitching. So that is really easy stitching, you know, in the evening when Jeff and I are watching something on TV, you know, like Dateline or something, and I want to pay some attention to the TV, but also stitch. This is perfect for that. So I kind of set it aside to work on other things that I needed to pay more close counting attention to. So we'll pull this back out and work on it some more. I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish it before I'm done with my Halloween and fall stitching for the season. So yeah, so that was fun to have. New purchase, new start. Really love it. So yeah, so Ghost Pumpkin from Lottie Da. All right, so looking at my timing. Oh, well, no. So now we're gonna do a WIP parade, right? So I kind of started that already. Let me just slip this back together so that I don't lose pieces and parts or get it confused, or as it is already, I'm trying to find my flosses. Oh, here they are. Okay. So I don't have a lot of people asking me this, but I keep all my flosses. I don't use floss rings. I do this. I wind them all like a bobbin on the, so if they're overdyed, I just wind them on the card they come on. And that's how I keep them all. And then in each project, I have a little, if I don't have a fancy matching notions pouch that goes with the project bag, then I have these I just buy on Amazon, and they're little canvas zipper pouches that I keep everything in. So, and then the other thing I do, which I learned from Kari at Tiger Lily Designs, and I don't even know if Kari still does this, but she was showing one time, she was working on a really big sampler, and that she had copied, now I have my handwritten notes for my conversion on this one, but she copied her floss chart from the chart, right? Your floss key, that's what I wanted to say. And like I put the name of the chart on it too, and I just use packing tape, and I'll say this, laminate it. So put it on both sides and trim it down, and it fits in my little floss pouch. And so I can just pick this up, even if, no matter what project I'm working on, like if the floss key isn't on the part of the chart that I'm looking at, I always have it very easily accessible. And like this one only has a few colors, right? I mean, you know, we all have projects that have 20 or more colors, right? So I don't know, it is the way I like to do things. And so anyway, that's what I want to show you. Let's see, I think I have one more in this bag that is not a WIP, it's a kit, but it's in this bag, so I thought I'd share it with you. I have it fully kitted. That means I have the fabric and the flosses all ready to go, and I'm pretty sure it's another one that I want to try to, at the very minimum, start it before I wrap up my fall and Halloween stitching. So this is Betsy's Halloween basket from Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery, and I have it kitted up with called for flosses, yes, and let's see, I was gonna see if, oh, and then I even have the called for fabric, which is shocking, that never happens for me. Although it's called for 36 count and I have 40 count. So it's just a piece of Picture This plus Murky. So I have that all ready to start when I am going to pull it out. It's probably coming up pretty soon on my to-do list. Okay. All right, are we ready for a WIP parade? I'll try not to, I'm not going to talk quite as much through everything now. And then if you have questions, don't ever hesitate to either leave me a comment below or you can email me, which my email address is down below in the drop-down box, or you can message me on Instagram. Either way, and I'm happy to look things up for you if I skimmed over it or didn't mention it or you didn't catch it, maybe even. So all right, so I'm gonna be pulling here from a few of my WIPs. Yeah, we won't talk about how many total I have. We're gonna stick to fall and Halloween for today. Up first is an actual current WIP. And I actually put it down to come and film my video today. And I am this close to finishing it, really. Here is the chart picture. Hazel's Halloween Friends from Teresa Kogut. And this came out a couple years ago. It says 2021 actually, so maybe 3 years ago now. But Teresa's witches and Halloween are some of my very favorites. And my needle is about to fall out, so hold on just a second as I put it back so I don't lose the needle. I'm gonna clip this on this board because I think this fabric's a little light and it'll just kind of shine through. There you go. There's where I'm at. Like I said, I have it's like grass down here, which is just a few rows of green. And then like this is the corner. So I have a few more of sort of this border little half circles. I don't know what to call them, to run down the side. Yeah, and that's it. I need to do like the leash for the kitty. I need to stitch that in and fill in a little bit there. You can see the pumpkin faces need a little fill in a couple spots. But seriously, like, I don't know, will I maybe have this done before I go to bed tonight? Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. It depends on how long I talk on the video. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. I love it. Oh, you probably want to know what I'm stitching it on, what I'm stitching it with. Let me find that information so I can tell you. I am stitching this on 40 count brown sand from xjudesign. As you can see, I roll it and hold it in my left hand and stitch with my right hand. So everything's always rolled up on that side. Brown sand is the color, and it's actually, I'm gonna say it's kind of a purpley gray, and it doesn't look like it's coming through very true on the video. I don't know if you can, like, this is darker, the surged edge here, but it's about that color, the background, and and then it has the big blotchy modeling on it. Love it. Okay, so 40 count, 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads, and I am using all the called for except the green that is the witch face and will be the green down here in the grass. I am using the DMC conversion color, and I don't know why. I'm gonna guess that I couldn't get the overdyed color when I kitted it up. So that's how far I am on that one. And don't you love her skirt? Oh, and it was really fun to stitch. So yeah, I like that one. I'm excited to have it done. The whole feeling accomplished thing. Let me just try to slip this back together. And let's see, this is, I think I can, I'm sorry, I can show you this project bag too. So it's another one from my friend Katie, greencottagequilts. She made these bags to match when we stitched Brenda Gervais Jack-o'-lantern Jubilee. So it has Tim Holtz fabric. It's so cool. So have that little project in there. Okie dokie. Let's show off this bag from Tara. Starry Owl Stitchery on Instagram and her Etsy shop both. And then I have this cute zipper pull on it. And I don't remember the name of the I don't remember the name of the fabric line. And you're probably all yelling at me, telling me what it is, but I love it. So anyway, so cute. I have a couple of projects in here, and you'll see I pretty much just kind of shove stuff in bags that fits. I don't tend to have any real rhyme or reason. All right, this first one is Penny Treats from Tree of Life Samplings. So, Penny Treats. Yes, I need to work on this one too. And I love it, but only have so many hours in the day, right? Okay, I am seeing, all right, I have called for flosses and, okay, called for flosses. I am stitching mine on 40 count Grandpa's sleeve from xjudesign, which is such an awesome fabric for autumn and fall. I'm sorry, autumn and fall. Autumn and Halloween type projects. So I think that'll look really awesome. And actually I had this out a few days ago and worked on it a little bit. I just decided to pull something else out. So obviously I don't have a lot done, but I'll have to pick this up and work on it some more. I'll show you the chart picture one more time there. Sorry for the glare. Is that better? So yeah, so that is Penny Treats from Tree of Life Samplings. And I'm actually doing a pretty good job at how quickly I'm working my way through keeping stuff together, I think. All right. Next one is Gourds from Plum Street Samplers. And this is an older chart. I mean, I don't remember where I saw it, but I had to buy it immediately. And I do remember, I'm pretty sure it's charted. Let's see if I can get a quick look here. Yeah, it's charted in silks with a DMC conversion. I took that DMC conversion and made my own overdyed choices. What direction does this go in? I think it's like that. I'm surprised. Usually I have a pin in the upper right corner to keep myself straight. I didn't get real far. A little bit on the border. So that was an upper right start for me. This is, so like I said, my own overdyed conversion of floss colors, but pretty much staying true to what it was charted in. This is on 40 count Hemingway from Needle and Flax. So I think that's gonna look really good. Another one I wouldn't mind getting out and getting done, but only so much time in the day. And if I have it kitted up, I might as well have it started. What's the difference? If I have all the stuff, I'm just way more likely to pick it up and work on it if it actually has a small start on it. So I'll show you the chart picture one more time. Gourds, Plum Street Samplers. I mean, come on, a Halloween peacock? It's so cool. Love it. All right, so that's all I have in this bag. I think I had at least one other project in here, it was one of my finishes, but I don't remember which one it was. All right, this was a gift. I don't know who sewed this one. Let's see what's in here. I don't remember. And I'll eventually show you when I get to a Jenni bag, Patchwork and Poppies, and she has the label on the bag, which I love. But have I ever labeled the label? No. So, come on. I don't know. I'm pretty organized, but sometimes little details get away from me. Oh, this one actually makes sense why I have these two together in this bag. Up first, Blackbird Fractor from Plum Street Samplers. Isn't that cool? Love, love, love. And as I'm pulling this out to show you, it's on a piece of fabric I love, love, love. So I am stitching this on, I'm using all the called for flosses. I'm not going to worry with the board. I think I can show this to you just fine. So called for flosses. I'm stitching this on 40 count Early Halloween from xjudesign. Doesn't that look awesome? Oh my gosh, I remember stitching this. It was so fun. I started it last year around this time. Gosh, I love it so much. I love the colors. I love this piece of fabric. So here it is opened up. Isn't that gonna look awesome? Oh, I need to work on that. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Easily distracted by these awesome projects. So yeah, so that's Blackbird Fractor from Plum Street. I told you the fabric, right? 40 count Early Halloween from xjudesign. Called for flosses. And because it's 40 count, that means I stitch 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. Okay, and then, like I said, this one you're gonna see why it's together, because it actually makes sense. Autumn Fractor from Plum Street Samplers. So, you know, that's not a very good, it's a very dark cover photo here, so it's hard to see it, but, and I love, love, love this one too. Oh my gosh. And I have a fair amount done. Started it probably around the same time I started the other one. Again, I think I can just show you without, see, upper right pin, so I knew where it was, and I wouldn't need it on this one, of course. So there's where I'm at. I think I probably started in the middle on this one. That's what it looks like to me. And then worked my way over because I really wanted to stitch a bird. Oh, I love this. Fabric, 40 count Grandpa's sleeve. Again, perfect for fall and Halloween. 40 count Grandpa's sleeve from xjudesign. And I am using all the called for colors. Yeah, I need to work on these because I love them. How do I have this folded? Oh, there we go. Okay. So, oh, I love these. Cannot wait to stitch on them some more. I will get one out. Or maybe both of them, I don't know. They're so fun to stitch that they don't feel like they take very long for me to stitch on them. All right, next bag, another awesome bag from Tara at Starry Owl Stitchery. Now these are fig tree quilts fabrics, I want to say, and I'm probably totally wrong. And I don't know where I got this cute little zipper pull. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but isn't it cute? All right. What's in here? Oh, well, it sort of makes sense why these are together. They're the same designer. Oh, yes, and I have all the flosses in one floss pouch because they use a lot of the same colors. Here's the first one, A Witch in Her Garden with Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. Okay, so those Blackbird Fractor and Autumn Fractor, that was quite impressive what I had done. This, not so much. Let's see, I'm pretty sure, yeah, here's my start. Here's my WIP. See how much I've done? Woohoo! So much. I feel like I had to stitch this twice for some reason too, but I don't know, whatever. It's been a while. I do plan on making this into a drum when I get there, and I don't have an actual pumpkin stem. I'll probably just try to make one. Let's see, this is 36 count natural. It says Weigart fabric, so it's just natural. And I chose 36 count because I think that's what was called for in the chart, and I thought that would make it easier to make it into a drum because I could use, you know, follow Brenda's directions exactly. And I'm using called for flosses, it looks like. I don't know if it may be possible that I end up doing a couple swaps here or there just because, you know, sometimes these overdyed flosses are not anywhere close to what they show in the picture, right? So for the most part, I'm planning overdyed or called for. All right, and then this is another with Thy Needle and Thread. Oh, and this is an even smaller start. I think I probably started these on the same day and was just like, oh, let's just get them started and I'll pick them back up later. This is Hallows Eve at Ravens Hollow. Like I said, with my needle and thread. Well, here it says Brenda Gervais right there. Okay. You ready for this? I'm trying to make sure I show it to you in the right way. Yep. There's the upper right corner. Here's my start. This may be the one that I had to stitch more than once, and why there's only that little tiny bit there. That's my start. I am stitching this on 40 count Andorra from Needle and Flax. This is so awesome for Halloween stitching. Look at it. It's really awesome. It's gonna be very beautiful. So yeah, there's the chart picture again. So cute. And this is an older one. And mostly called for flosses. I think there's 1 or 2 slight subs, but I think it's just either I didn't find the called for when I was charting it up, or I had something so similar already, or like I said, a lot of the colors, right, are the same between these 2 charts, or they're basically the same color but different dyers, and so you can just use whatever, you know, a week's dye works for a classic color works, or vice versa, right? Okay. So that was that bag. Let's see, where am I at here? I have several more bags to go. I don't know, did you hear me? I have several more bags to go. I don't know if I had my head turned the wrong way. Okay, here is a Jenni bag. Am I showing you the front? I think so. But here's the back. Or maybe this is the front. And this is the back. They're both beautiful, right? So Patchwork and Poppies, she has a website, patchworkandpoppies.com. It'll be down in the drop box below. And oh, this one only has 1 project in it. Again, I think, you know what? I think I had Golden Delicious in this because the colors matched perfectly. So this one is from the Woolly U. And what's it called? Autumn at Sunflower Ridge. So, sorry for the glare. If I try to pull it out of the page protector, it'll take me an hour to get it put back together. You know how that goes. Oh, it's right here. I am, yes, okay. I am stitching this with the called for flosses, upper right start. This is on 40 count Walnut Grove by Needle and Flax. Doesn't that look good? Oh, I love this one too. I want to get back to this one. So I think my fabric color is fairly close to what it's stitched on the cover there. I don't know. It's got a big house in it. Love that. So yeah, so there's how far I got on that one. Really like it. I would really like to get it done. But you know, time is time. Are we getting tired of me saying that yet? I am. So yeah, I love this bag. Oh, with all the fall colors. Okay, I'll get less particular about getting my bags back in order there. This bag, does it have a tag on it? Yes. Painted Leaf Company, which I think it's on Etsy. This was given to me as a gift. Vinyl front bag. But love it. And it has the matching Notions pouch. So see, I can put my flosses in here and my little floss key. Yeah. All right, so you saw and I just have one in here. So you saw the chart picture. The pumpkin house from Hello from Liz Matthews. This was another one that was originally in the Kitten Stitcher Halloween box, and I fell in love with it then. So once it was released, which I think was last year, I snapped it up, and then I kitted it up, and I started it, and I really enjoyed stitching it so far. I just need to get back to it. I am using the DMCs. So it's charted in NPIs and in DMCs. I'm using the DMCs. And I'll show you my started portion. Not too bad. This part I am stitching on 40 count Midnight Ride from xjudesign. Super cool. And then I haven't started anything on here, but my bottom part where the pumpkin patch is will be on this piece of 40 count farm eggs from xjudesign. So see, that'll go, you know, down here with the pumpkin patch on it. I'm really excited to like use these two different pieces of fabric and then put them together after I stitch it, and I really like this one. Of course I like it. I wouldn't have started it, I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't like it, and I wouldn't have started it if I didn't like it, right? I don't know. Not sure when that'll get back out. Okay. So yeah, so that was the pumpkin house from Hello from Liz Matthews. This is where I'm at. Okay. Oh, this one feels very full. Again, I think this is the front, but in this fabric glows in the dark. This is another Jenni Patchwork and Poppies bag. And it was last year's October bag of the month if you chose Halloween. Oh yeah, there's several in here. Let's just work our way through here. Okay. Up first, Goody Grimwood from Plum Street Samplers. And I bought this because Jen, which is jenquilter on Instagram, and Jen of Jen and Carol, Two Tall Stitchers on Flosstube, she stitched this and finished it, and I fell in love with it while she was stitching it. So, you know, I went and got myself the chart, and I started it. Let's see. Oh, I do have a pin in there. So I started on this really cool piece of fabric that was a gift. I still have the tag on it because it was a gift. Here's where I'm at. That's not a whole lot of stitching there. Not for what still needs to be done. Let's see. This linen is 40 count Vintage Mermaids Firewood by Dames of the Needle. And here's I think it'll look really good on there. I know that some of it's a little ghosty, like the colors right now, but I think once I stitch a lot more of it, it's gonna show better and look a lot better. I really like this piece for that one. So that's just a little start, and there's a lot of stitching in that one. So I don't know, that one's probably not going to get done this year. I'm not even sure when it's gonna come back out right now. Okay, there, got everything together so I don't mix it up. Oh, you guys, I love everything I'm pulling out. Holy smokes. All right, these next two, yeah, okay. I don't know, I thought I had another one in here, but I guess not. Okay. So up next, When Pigs Fly from Not Forgotten Farm. Oh my gosh, I love this one. I loved the stitching I did on it so far. I love the fabric I chose. I am using called for flosses. This is 40 count early Halloween from xjudesign. And I remember starting this last year and I could not put it down until I had that pig done. Isn't he cute? Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Yep, so early Halloween from xjudesign. I'll open that up. So here's my whole piece. That's gonna be almost that big. And flosses. I'm using the called for. They're all Gentle Arts. So yeah, so that's what it'll look like when I get it done. It's big. From the chart, you don't see how big it is. It is $2.99 by $1.75. That's a big one. In some very stitch dense areas. But, oh, it's gonna look so good. I can't wait to stitch on that some more. I don't know, next year I'm gonna have to find a way to work on things, I think. Like schedule them out or something if I'm gonna get some of these done. All right, and then I'm still feeling like there should have been one more in here, but it must be in another bag. This one is also Not Forgotten Farm, Prunella Squash Bottom, and she goes with the Reverend Gordon Squash Bottom. I have him finished in my drawer of finishes, waiting to be framed. Let's see. This is charted in DMC. I did my own conversion, and it looks like I used all color and cotton flosses, which that's what I did with the Rev. So I tried to, share same colors across. They don't share a lot of colors. Some of them they do. And so I tried to use the same colors and have the same feel. This is also 40 count Endora from Needle and Flax. And there's where I'm at. Not a big start, but it's not the smallest start we've seen today. So yeah, I mean, I would like to get her done because then I will frame the both of them at the same time. All right, so yeah, I said that bag was pretty full. That's 3 pretty big projects in this bag, right? Okay. Let's see. I think I only have 2 bags left. Here is another Jenni bag, and this is I don't know if all the fabrics are basic gray. I think it's nutmeg is the line of fabrics. But if it's not all nutmeg from basic gray, almost all of it is. Okay, this has one project in it. It is Penny Harvest from Tree of Life Samplings. I think I'm confusing up some things in my mind. That's just had a thoughts in my head. Did you see my brain turning over? Anyway, Penny Harvest from Tree of Life Samplings. Obviously, Penny is why I chose it. Let's see, I am using called for colors, which it's all charted in Weeks Dye Works. I am stitching this on 40 count Steinbeck from Needle and Flax. I'll lay it on the board. It's been folded up, so that'll help keep it out. Not a big start, but I mean, I have that, I think I have this border all the way across, the outline of it there. Do I? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why my piece of fabric seems kind of big, but it is. Probably that's, rather than leaving like 2 inches somewhere, I probably just cut it big. But yeah, so that's my start on that one. Another one I'd like to work on and get done. I think everything I'm showing you, I started last fall. In particular, you know, when I was doing my Celebrate 50 start along, which, by the way, I ended up starting way more than 50 things. And I still believe that as long as I have it kitted up, I might as well start it. I might as well have it be a WIP as opposed to just being a kit. Again, because I might go, you know, I really feel like working on Penny Harvest today. I'm just gonna pull it out and work on it. Well, I would never do that if it was just kitted up. I'd never, because I don't like the actual, I love to kit things up and I love to stitch. I do not like that starting, putting the first stitches in nonsense. Is that nonsense? No. But anyway. I keep thinking I had another Not Forgotten Farm project started. And I think I'm remembering wrong. And I need to get it out of my brain. Sorry, I didn't show you the bag. This is another Jenni bag, Patchwork and Poppies, and I'm pretty sure this was, yeah, this was a club bag, maybe November last year. I don't know, she's got like lace zipper pull on here this time, and this fabric is just so lovely. And what do I have in here? I have 2 projects in here. You know, after I show you this, I know I'm missing at least one project that I haven't shown you. I'll have to find it. I don't know if it's stuck in another bag somewhere. Okay. Sunflower Farm by Kathy Barrick. I don't even know how I saw this. I didn't see someone stitching it. I don't know. Was I shopping and couldn't just buy just one chart and happened to notice it and be like, add to cart as soon as possible? I can't remember, but I just fell in love with it. Like the Quaker motifs kind of sprinkled around and the beautiful house and the bird. I just fell in love with it. Now, let's see, I think I remember, this is charted kind of you have two options for flosses. And I chose the ones I liked the best out of those two columns. So it kind of mixed them up. So I'm using called for, but made my choices from in the chart. Here's where I'm at. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, I love this one. I love them all. I know. This is totally blowing out. My fabric is, now that the light is changing, it's getting darker. This is 40 count Newport Beach from Needle and Flax. Let's see, I'm trying to see if you can see all that modeling. I don't know if you can or not. It's hard to tell if it's blowing out, but so there's where I'm at. So I'm sure, yeah, I started in the upper right. I can't wait to stitch that house. So this one, I know I haven't pulled it out because I feel like it's more of a fall, but it's not really. Like, it's probably something that's gonna end up being out all the time, right? And after I got done with Golden Delicious, I was like, oh, let's work on Halloween and then I'll pull out fall, because I'll be like, okay, enough Halloween, I'm ready to move on to fall before I start holiday stitching. Okay, and then the other one in here, this really doesn't have rhyme or reason of why this is in here with this one, other than I probably started them about the same time. This is Stacy Nash, and what's it called? Gather Thy Harvest Pin Keep. And I just looked at the time on my video. I'm not gonna go through all my kits, because this is, you've listened to me talk long enough when I get through this stuff. So let's see. Yep, it's called for our Weeks Dye Works flosses, and I'm using all the called for. And I must have done a center start on this one, probably because I was trying to place it based on the cool fabric and wanting to maximize what was gonna show and where. So this is 40 count Halloween pumpkin from xjudesign. And I think it's gonna show really awesome once I get obviously more stitching done. But look, the white pumpkin shows. So yeah, so that's as far as I got on that. I think I said called for flosses. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break and see if I can find, I know I have one more project for sure that I have started that wasn't in one of these bags. And maybe it's out by my stitching chair. I'll be right back. I found it. The reason I hadn't pulled it was this doesn't look like a very fall bag, does it? So that's why I was mistaken and hadn't pulled it out. And it is the only thing in here, so that's why. That makes sense, right? Okay. So this one is Stacy Nash. What's it called? Oak Leaf Manor Pin Keep Drum. Look at that. And you can't see it very well on the in the chart picture. This border has all these oak leaves all the way around. It's so awesome. I started on that border around the outside of the drum, so you'll get to see that. Now this I purchased, you can see here, Country Sampler. So this I got as a whole kit. So it's called for flosses, and then it comes with trims and fabric to be able to finish it. And let's see. Sorry. So I don't have my typical notes. I gotta dig a little deeper so I could tell you what fabric this is. 36 count Seraphim antique lace. So the color is gorgeous. And let's see. No, it goes like this. Okay, I think this is my start. I think this is the edge of, you know, where the border starts for all the way around the drum. Here's one of those oak leaf clusters. Isn't it awesome? Oh, so good. And then I think this has opposite on the other end so that you stitch them together to finish the drum, if I remember right. So love this one and would love to get back to it too. We'll see. Just like with everything else. All right, you don't have to watch me put that one away because it's the last one. And I have talked a really long time, much longer than I had expected. But I don't know, I hope the WIP parade was fun. It's so fun to see all this stuff. I'm a little frustrated because I would like to be working on all of them. So we'll get there. Yeah, so I usually talk about plans. Here's my plans. I plan to stitch. I'm gonna finish Hazel's Halloween Friends from Teresa Kogut. And the La-Di-Da Ghost Pumpkin, I would like to get that one finished too. Other than that, I don't think I have a specific plan. Although those might be kind of where I cut myself off from Halloween type stitching to more really fall stitching and go back to fall for a while until I feel like getting out the holiday stitching, because I have lots of that. That's really fun too. Oh, there's so much. Just love it. Oh, and then the new stuff that's coming out. Oh, yeah. There's new ones I need to collect too. All right. Like I said, I have talked enough. I had a lot of fun sharing with you today. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And as always, please leave me comments because I love to hear from you. I talk and talk and talk, and I know you listen to me, but then I don't get to hear direct feedback, right? So I'd love to hear some. That was one other thing I was going to suggest. If you have any questions for me, I would love a chance to get to answer a few questions if there's something out there for everybody that that you're wondering about that I haven't shared or talked about yet, or haven't talked about recently, which that could open up to a whole lot of stuff, right? All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some stitching in. I hope you're doing very well right now. And this is where I always start babbling. I'm not gonna babble, and I'm not gonna stop the video. I am just going to say thank you for sharing your time with me, and I will talk to you soon.